Beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing.
My site, okay? I was hired to gut it, okay?
40 years
We went
ago.
back in. This was 25 years ago. I was hired to salvage it, okay? So I got the salvage rights in exchange for removing all the stuff. And we backlit the electrical off of our generators to their main panel.
Dang.
We energy.
That
I
was
never saw
awesome.
anything like it. I mean, it killed me to tear it all. I took the cabinets. The cabinets are, I couldn't use the cabinets at 4, but they're going to site 10 when we start it this summer. And that is the last set of original cabinets of the 579 sites.
Damn.
So, and I took them down 25 years ago in sections, okay, fully complete, so they weren't destroyed. I had the guys take extra time because I knew you were never going to come across those again. So,
What are those cabinets made out of, do you know?
just wood. They're just cheap plywood, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
I know. I said the same thing. I'd have thought, oh, you know, they'd have been metal or they'd have been this. No.
And they're intact to be. Well, I mean,
Intact.
plywood is. If you keep it dried
Yeah,
out.
but there's not a lot of humidity here, so that's the only reason the Walker sites, Bryce, are the way they are. I'm convinced we don't have the humidity issues.
Yeah.
Everything else is moldy. I mean, come on. I'm in Tim's. Tim's got the Manitou site in Oklahoma. Okay.
If you have humidity problems and then you just go and refurb and just slap paint on everything, I mean that's not gonna help the humidity
No,
at all.
you have got to treat the air.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you who really understands that is David Johnson with the Hobart site. I mean, he has got it down to an F. David's coming in next week because we're going to put in the new silo LED lights in the silo.
Damn.
I've just got the one. And so Kerry that owns Site 10, he's coming in from Minneapolis, and I've got 2 out. You're welcome to come out, and we're going to film it for YouTube.
Damn.
And we're going to go all the way and put in all the new lights and go all the way to the bottom. And, but I mean, so far, I don't know, did I send you a picture of the new LED shining up at the silo doors?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was what I wanted. No disrespect, what I wanted Siloworld pictures to be 20 years ago without the technology. That's how it looks now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh no, I understand.
It looked awesome.
We all began with $2 flashlights and a Coleman lamp.
I understand. You had what you had. But
I laugh at that.
and the higher, 4K stuff, getting into the visual pixels and all that stuff, and the 4K video. I mean, it's just so much more detailed, and especially with the lighting.
Well, that's what we're going to film this. We're going to film it all in 4K.
It'll be awesome.
It should be good. I mean, I want to there'll be one light put in just below the second level floor, shining down, and then we'll start the placement. And see, I haven't been down there because I quit replacing the bulbs on the old halogen lights down there. So they're still there, right? It's just they don't operate.
Right.
So it should be pretty easy to do the swap out. And I love these new ones because I got them on Amazon they put out 1,000 watts of power and only take 200 watts.
Damn.
And that's just one shining up at the silo door. I've got another one, and I'm very curious to shine it up there and see if it increases it, or does it just basically bottom out? It's,
I bet it would intensify.
I'm hoping it does, because if it does, I'm going to go ahead and I buy them you get 2 of them for $120. Okay, $60 a piece. That's no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in 10 of them. So that'd be 5 packages. And plus the 2 I've already got. And the only reason I went with just those 2 is because I wanted to make sure they're what I like.
Oh, yeah.
Before I buy all of them and then go, oh, shit, I don't like any of this.
Sink a load of money into it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I've done that before. You let me know. Just think about what I'm saying, though, about maybe you want to do something where, you're talking, you're filming, you're showing the screen, you're hearing our voice, you're seeing the pictures we're discussing.
I would love to, something that we could see live, but conversate on seeing the same picture live.
Well, yeah, exactly. See, that's what we could do ahead of time. I mean, I can send you the photographs if you don't already have them, and then, you're using those, so you're seeing the missile, like take the Titan 1 OSTF-1. The missile is up and locked, right?
Right.
You're seeing everything, right? The only numbering system you're seeing on that OSTF-1 missile is its BH.
Right.
Okay? You can always tell that was OSTF-1 because of that. Now, here's a funny little story from a, who was it? 3M did the, AMF did the launch platform for Titan 1. Okay? Did that bowling alleys. Okay? Among other things. They did everything. American Manufacturing Foundry. Some of their engineers were so fun to listen to. I listened to several of them years ago, and one of them was kidding me. They could not stand the the Martin engineers, right? And so they had a standard joke of what the BH meant on the bottom, really the first stage, okay, of the Titan 1 missile itself.
Right.
They said, you fuckers are so stupid that BH stands for bottom half.
That's funny.
I'll never forget that. I just laugh every time I hear that, or think about it.
That makes sense.
Well, exactly. But the other side of that is, I've asked the question, but, what did BH stand for?
Right.
Was it a numbering system for I'm thinking, as close as I could come, because Fred Epler is no longer here. And see, Fred was a couple years younger than me, and I'm only 60.
Right.
I would get a kick. I'd say to Fred, what could it have been the early numbering system that they used? Which is possible. I can tell you the early sites, Atlas F, were a alphabetical letter.
Damn.
To begin with, and then went to the numerical.
What, sort of like Titan?
They went A through, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, I think. Wow. For the first 9, and then the additional 3, and then they changed. But see, that's why all the numbers change. Here's another thing that will get you with Atlas F every time. The way the numbering system worked is you put a compass rose over the top of the Air Force Base with 0 going due north, okay? And then you extended the radials of the compass rose away from the Air Force Base out. And as they hit a missile base, what became 1 would be the closest to 0, and then it grew, in a clockwise fashion.
Clockwise.
Yeah. So that's why if you look at the Roswell sites, the furthest western site is site 9, not site 10.
Yeah, that's always thrown me off.
Because if you put the compass rose over Walker, south of town, you'll see that it comes first. Therefore, it would be 9. And that's why.
That makes sense.
When they added the next 3, they had to change all the numbering system. They screwed the pooch. I mean, can you imagine if you keep telling a guy, so what they came up with was complex. Okay, I'm going to complex 1. I'm going to complex 2. I'm going to complex 3. Then my site, okay?